Hey everybody, this is Khara Crossway Brindle, co-founder of the Empowerment Model, co-owner of Supervisionary. I have Jen with us today. Jen is a fellow supervisor. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
We're going to be doing a role play on how to wrap up a supervision relationship with a supervisee. But before we do that, Jen, you want to share anything with our audience of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so Jen Shivey, I am an LPC and an RPTS. So I do a lot of supervision that's a little bit more specific to play therapy, not always. I'm a group practice owner and I own a consulting business as well. So I'm a little bit all over the place. Feels
Yes.
like it. Yeah.
Jen is a wealth of knowledge, which is why I asked her to be a part of these role play videos. So Jen is going to play the role of supervisor. I'm going to play the role of supervisee. You'll get to see her style and some of the things she incorporates into a closing session with a supervisee and hope that it's worthwhile to all of you who are watching. So Jen, when you're ready, let's do it.
Okay. Okay. Supervisee, today is your last supervision day here. So, what are your thoughts? Like, what's coming up for you? Like, what? Tell me where you're at.
Yeah, I know we talked about this last week when we were wrapping up some of the paperwork, and so today was less about the paperwork, which I appreciate. But yeah, I'm feeling a little sad. Feeling a little sad that after 2 years of working with you, that we're kind of done. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
normal, but that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally normal. This is a very intense relationship. It's not therapeutic, but there's still kind of the same, we did some of the same things. We built rapport, we kind of went through a working phase, and this is, kind of closer to a termination session. It's just more of a professional, like colleague termination session, I guess. So, yes, we've talked about the paperwork. We're less kind of concerned about that today. We've checked off all the things. You're good. So the housekeeping things are, we want to make sure that, you going out on your journey now as an independent therapist. Think first, let that settle in. Think about how that's feeling. So as, working independently, paperwork wise, we want to make sure that you have your revamped set of disclosures now that has your new title, your license number, all of that stuff, but that also has all of mine off of it because you are no longer going to be under me. So you're going to want to make sure you have that. Um, and I think too, just really taking some time and thinking about how does the relationship change now? So something that I talk about with my supervisees, and you've heard before from me when you're transitioning out with clients, right? So I use a lot of analogies. So my favorite one for this is, have you seen Hamilton or listened to the music for Hamilton?
I've heard of it. I haven't had the blessing of being able to go see it.
Oh, well, even if you listen to the music. So, what we're doing basically is the same with our clients when we are transitioning away from seeing them. Is and this is something that you have done with, you may have done with some of your clients, whether it's, through an internship, you're ending an internship. And so now you're, terminating with all of your clients, or you are moving to a new place, you're doing something different. So, in the ways of Hamilton, we are going to teach them how to say goodbye. We're going to teach the same thing. And so, the point of that is that, so if you've listened to the musical song, it's kind of, you're teaching them how to say goodbye because you don't always want to have one president that's over the country and that can only be that person, right? Because that is kind of how we moved away from England. We didn't want to have the same person there for life. And that one person had to be kind of the authority figure for everything that goes on. So, in teaching them how to say goodbye, it can be this person. It could also be another person. It could be somebody else. So it won't be me anymore, kind of guiding you and this like kind of, shepherding process of, here's how you do all the things. But it doesn't mean that your journey for that ends, right? Mm-hmm. So tell me about your plans now for continued, not supervision, but as you move into consultation.
Yeah.
Have you thought about what is that going to look like for you, and based on what you need and what you've learned about what you need?
Yeah, I appreciate this question because I've been thinking about it. I don't have a full picture yet, but I feel like I'm going to want some consultation around some of the different communities I'm going to be serving as the play therapist. And, you've taught me so much, and I feel like there's still more to learn. So I'll probably be doing some more trainings. I'm interested in the
Okay.
synthetic play therapy piece. So
Hmm.
I imagine with that comes some consultation with one of those folks.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I'm still researching what that's going to look like because I want to pace myself as I build my practice and get everything set up and do it well. Do you have any
Of
thoughts for me?
course. I think one of the most important things is you never want to get to a point professionally where you feel like you've got it, where
Hmm.
you feel like you've got it and you know all the answers and you don't really need anybody to guide you because you always will, no matter what. I have a consultation group. I've got a couple of them. So you always want to make sure that you have, whatever you call that, your consultation group, your crew, your people, your soul tribe, whatever. You want to make sure that you have those people around you that you build a relationship with where it feels safe enough that you can ask them the hard questions of, I really think I might have messed this up. What do you think? Or, wow, this happened. I thought I'd seen it all, but nope, here's today. So, you want to make sure that you have those people in your life, in your professional life, in some kind of capacity, whether it's a structured consultation group or somebody that you are specifically seeking consultation from for, maybe like an RPT certification or something like that. You want to make sure that you have those people so that you have continued, um, you know, like, what do you think about this? So the difference is that, in a supervision role, if you ask your supervisor and they tell you, okay, I need you to do this, you kind of have to do it, right? Because you're under their license. In consultation, this is a more collaborative. This is more, you really are consulting. So they give you kind of what they think. You can take it or leave it.
Mhm.
You can take it, leave it, you can justify how you're doing whatever you're doing. But this is now for you to decide. So you want to choose those people carefully.
Yeah, I mean, I hope this is okay to ask you, but like because I've worked with you for 2 years, like, is it possible that you usually have supervisees do consultation sometime?
Yeah,
Is that an
yeah,
option?
yeah. That's totally an option. We sign a new agreement because we are moving our role. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. It just it changes a little bit because now it is more it's more of just a professional colleague relationship,
Right.
so it's more like, here's the specific things I know about, and here's where I would have you look, and where like, let's brainstorm this together, versus I know you don't want to do this, but I need you to do this. It's,
Right.
here's what I am advising you to do, you take that and decide, because this is you now, this is you crafting your own everything,
Yeah.
so more so than you already have.
So it's
Yeah.
really not goodbye. I mean, I'm hearing our roles are going to change. Obviously, supervision is done, and that's helpful. Do you have any like last words of advice for me as I move out of a supervisory role with you? Like, I mean, I'm sure people have asked you that all the time as you wrap up with other people, but like, what's the like thing you tell people?
Um, I tell people to, have your people around you that you can talk to, but also trust your gut. Like, you did this, you did a lot of training, you did a lot of supervision, you did all of this for a reason, and you know more than you think. So trust yourself, trust your gut, trust that most of how to do this and what to do, and the rest is just guidance and support at this point. So the training never ends. You always keep learning, but it does, it looks a little bit different, and it's because you've done a lot of work at this point, so you are an expert in your own field, and other people out in the community are going to come to you because you know something that they don't. So even though it might not feel like it all the time, trust that you do know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel good about what I was able to gain from your supervision. And, I know that I don't know what I don't know, but I am feeling hopeful that I'm going to figure this out. And if I can't, then I know the people to go to ask. So that
You
makes a
know the
good
people to go to ask, you know where to look for things, because these are also things that we have done together. So you've got this. You've got this. I also wouldn't release you out to the therapy world unless I was 100% confident that you can do it. And I am. I have total confidence that you are ready and you can do this.
Thank you, Jen. All right, so I'm going to break character there. So for viewers, obviously each of you has your own style of how you would, start this conversation, end this conversation. Jen, can you speak to like, do you normally have like a ritual or like a gift that you give supervisees, or is that not your style? I'm going to put you on this hot seat.
Sometimes it's not super my style as like a goodbye, because you're right. I do have so many people that like this isn't really a goodbye. It's, maybe a structured every other week or every week goodbye, but I'll be back. And I want that. I have a lot of colleagues. I have I want people to, hey, I have a question for you, or could we set up a time for a consultation? I'm struggling with this piece,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm more likely to do things like that during supervision, like, oh my gosh, saw this book. It's exactly what we're talking about. I think you're going to love it here, or it is PSL season. Do that, here's some Starbucks. Here's some Starbucks swag. So things like that. So I'm more likely to do that kind of during the course, but I don't know that I have a super well-defined ritual, because everybody's so different, I don't think that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just view it as much more of, we are moving from me being in this, even though this feels weird and I don't like it, like me being in this kind of hierarchical role, to we're just colleagues now. We're
Yeah.
just colleagues
Yes.
on the same playing field, and we know what we know and we don't know what we don't. And that's cool. I'll figure it out together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think for viewers, obviously, like integrate your own style into this. Jen obviously likes to I'm going to use the word spoil, even though that's not what you said, but like, you're thoughtful with the gifts that you're like, this is relevant, or this is something we can enjoy together
Yeah.
in a supervision relationship. I am more of a ritual person where I'm like, I want to get them something that is very intentional at the end of their supervision. It usually is a book related to something they're working on or want to continue to work on. So everything from burnout to like, here's a book on trauma to here's my favorite book on XYZ. So anyone who's watching this video, figure out what your style is. There is something about like having some conscious closure, right? Which is why it's a little sticky for Jen, because she is a person in the field that has so many unique specialties that most people stay connected to her. For those of us who might feel like more of like a catch-all, like we work with a lot of different things and aren't super specific or niched down, it might really truly feel like a goodbye if like they have 20 million other people they can choose from to ask these questions or get consults from. So with that, there might need to be more of a ritual of this does feel like a goodbye versus see you next week in Jen's experience. So
Right.
viewers, take this all in, do what you want with this information. Hopefully it was helpful to see Jen in her element as talking about how she touches on a couple different things. I loved that you asked about like where they headed from here, what supports would they have from here. I think that's super valuable for someone exiting a supervisee role. But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. And thank you so much, Jen, for participating in this role play.